Good morning. We are Victor Sole and me, Ismail Rich, and today we are going to present you neuromarketing. Do you know what 75% stands for? So let me tell you. 75% stands for the irrational purchases that we make in our daily basis. So the index of our presentation will be the following one. First of all, we are going to do an explanation of neuroscience, then an explanation of neuromarketing. The following thing will be the pros and cons of neuromarketing, and then we will end with the powerful examples of neuromarketing in action. Neuroscience is the scientific study of the nervous system. It is a multidisciplinary branch of biology that combines physiology, anatomy, molecular biology, development biology, cytology, mathematical modeling, and psychology to understand the fundamental and emerging properties of neurons and neural circuits, the understanding of biological basis of learning, memory, behavior, perception, and consciousness. Neuromarketing is the application of neuroscience to marketing. Now let's talk a little bit about neuromarketing, mentioning the positive and negative aspects. Neuromarketing is practiced in the advertising field. It is a way to measure emotional reactions and emotional effectiveness by observing the reactions of the brain and the areas concerned during the exposure to advertising messages. On the one hand, neuromarketing is not a very good and very ethical thing because it is based on manipulating people and making them buy something they don't really need. This is what they do through the study of parts of the brain and the analysis of their reactions in certain situations, in order to arouse the need and to avoid creating a negative feeling that can lead to rejection of their products. On the other hand, neuromarketing is very effective. Often there have been many very good projects or products that weren't known on the market due to the lack of knowledge to market them properly. In addition, neuromarketing has allowed us to innovate in products by understanding consumer behavior and effects produced. Finally, neuromarketing is very good, especially for companies, because its use can reduce costs and increase revenues by having a better understanding of their target consumer.
Thank you, Isma. Now we are going to see 4 powerful examples of neuromarketing in action. The first one, effective packaging. We all know the feeling of being drawn to particularly attractive packaging. Advertisers have always known that it's not always about what's inside that counts, but neuromarketing has managed to take this to a whole new level. In studies, customers were shown packaging with their responses recorded as positive, negative, or neutral. In addition, they were interviewed extensively in relation to color, text, and image. The research revealed that customers had a negative response to shiny packaging but didn't show a negative response to packaging when it was matte. Loss aversion. One interesting finding shown by neuromarketing is that people really don't want to lose out. People are just as worried about what they might lose as what they might gain. For this reason, buy before it's gone strategies are highly effective. When the alternative option is posed as a loss, consumers are much more likely to buy. For this reason, a concept called framing is highly important in neuromarketing. This technique is how advertisers present decisions to consumers in a way that makes them more likely to splash the cash. Loss aversion. One interesting finding shown by neuromarketing is that people really don't want to lose out. People are just as worried about what they might lose as what they might gain. For this reason, buy before it's gone strategies are highly effective. When the alternative option is posed as a loss, consumers are much more likely to buy. For this reason, a concept called framing is highly important in neuromarketing. This technique is how advertisers present decisions to consumers in a way that makes them more likely to splash the cash. And finally, setting the right price. How to price products in a way that tempts consumers is a long-running question. We are all aware that pricing something at $9.99 instead of $10 is an advertising tactic, but does it work? An array of new findings are shedding the light on these questions. Neuromarketing analysts are currently claiming that rounded figures are more likely to work alongside emotional decision making, while more complex figures work better when the logical brain is engaged. This is because complex numbers make the brain work harder, perhaps convincing it that the complexly priced product is the more logical decision. Now we'll move on to an important question the French marketing expert Patrick Renvoise asks himself in the video we've seen from the input material for this session. So the question is there a buy button inside the brain? The thing is that our brain is actually 3 smaller brains through which the course of evolution has developed into a complex organ. Firstly, there is the new brain, which is the most recent evolutionary addition to our brain. It controls our ability to rationalize decisions and thoughts. Secondly, the middle brain, which processes our ability to feel and have emotions. Last but not least, the old brain, or the reptilian brain. Here is where our instinctual decisions are made. For example, imagine Homo sapiens roaming around pre-civilization searching for food, worried of wild beasts and predators, so its main function was to prevent pain. It is within the reptilian brain where most of our decisions, at least the important ones, are made. Here is where Renvoise believes the most effective marketing must be focused. So please take into consideration this example on how marketing focused at this reptilian functionality can be very effective. A pizza delivery company made a survey to its customers in an attempt to discover what they were most concerned about in the delivery of their pizza. On one hand, one would assume the obvious: cold pizza, cardboard taste, cheese melted on the box. On the other hand, they found that the biggest concern customers had was the anxiety they felt around when their pizza would arrive. The company was Domino's, and as a result they implemented their 30-minute delivery guarantee, launching the company into the fastest growing pizza chain. Never mind whether it was the best tasting pizza, because they figured out the pain their customers felt and they targeted. In conclusion, you have to figure out what kind of pain your audience is undergoing, because it seems that the key of our decision making for buying is pain avoidance.
Some examples of neuromarketing can be shopping carts that we use almost always when going to supermarkets or large stores. In those establishments, they offer us a cart to be able to move around better. But also the real purpose is that if the shopping cart is large, you may buy more articles. Olfactory perception. In this case, I'm going to give you 2 clear examples. In the case of large supermarkets, you may have noticed that they put the bakery ovens in the middle of the establishment. This is so you can smell the fresh baked bread and buy it. Another example is when we go to perfume shops and to clothes shops and we smell very good odors. Those odors are put also to make you buy what they are offering you. So that brings us to the end of our presentation. If you have any question, we will be pleased to answer them.